Friday Night Lights. Fort Wayne football from the comfort of your own home, or when you're on the go. The same night the pigskin touches the end zone, or is stopped dead in its tracks. 10 teams, 5 games, 1 website. SummitCitySports.com. Live-streamed high school games, score updates, and news hub for all Fort Wayne athletics. Find us on Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, and SummitCitySports.com.
Beautiful baby, you're sweeter than strawberry pie. Just like the morning, your smile brings the sunshine.
The Parkview Family Birthing Centers, with everything you need for baby, plus birth planners, expert physicians, midwives, and more for you.
I'm a Parkview mom.
You can be too. Learn more at parkviewmom.com.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Summit City Sports coverage of IHSAA sectional football action tonight at Luers Field on the campus of Bishop Luers High School. For essentially the first time this season, it's colder and more wet here on the south side of Fort Wayne than it's been all season. Game time temperature is going to be in the upper 30s, much different than these boys have experienced playing most of the season. You're watching SummitCitySports.com. To follow SummitCitySports.com, follow us on Twitter at 260sports, like us on Facebook, or subscribe to our YouTube channel. My name is Michael Mortensen, and I'm here with former coach and official C.J. Graft. Welcome back to the Summit City Sports booth here tonight, Coach, atop the stadium at Luers Field. Welcome back.
Oh, it's great to be here again tonight. Had such a good time last week when we did Dwenger and Southside, and now a nice game between an SAC and an NHC team, or I guess they call that the Big Eight now.
Yeah.
2 nights, Luers nights and Norwell nights. Ought to be an interesting ball game.
It sure should. You know, I was talking to the coach at Norwell. He happens to be a Taylor University graduate, and of course I work for Taylor. And he told me that the last 4 times that these teams have played, Norwell has won 3, and Luers has only won 1. So I was asking him, what's he going to do to fire up his team? Because his team has been on the losing side of the ledger more times, 3-7, compared to Luers 6-4, I believe.
Yes, 6-4 after last week's first round of sectional.
Well, tonight will be the battle of the Knights. The last time the teams played, Norwell won just 7-0 in 2006 and advanced to the state championship. A week ago, Norwell bounced Belmont 24-7, and Luers clobbered West Noble, who's 42-14. The coaching staff for Bishop Luers, the head coach is Kyle Lindsay, who's 33-28 in his 5th season here coaching the Knights, where his dad used to coach. And Norwell is led by Josh Gerber. Josh is in his 2nd year at the helm, where he is 3-17. I have a feeling this between these 2 teams, there's going to be a lot of yardage on the ground tonight.
Yeah, I wouldn't think there'd be a lot of throwing the ball. It's a lot harder to throw the ball when it's wet. Quarterbacks tend to grip the ball harder, and actually you want to loosen your grip a little bit on the football, because when you grip it, that's when you start getting the wobblers. But, you know, Knappy's an experienced quarterback for Luers, and we'll see how he does in the rain. Of course, Norwell's quarterback is a freshman, so this might be the first time he's played in this kind of weather. Yeah,
it's rather interesting. Not only is Norwell's quarterback a freshman, but also their punter and their place kicker. Same kid. Freshman Eli Riley
does a little bit of everything for him.
Excuse me. I mean, that's amazing. No pressure on him. Just throw him in. But perhaps as you're rebuilding a program, you know, to give a kid, you know, a chance when he's a freshman, that will pay off dividends in the later rounds. Wow, a onside kick. I'm not sure if it went far enough. Yeah, it did actually, and it's that's Norwell's ball. So a little trickery here to start off the game.
So Norwell started out with the ball. It's a fine executed onside kick. The kicker kicked it, followed it, and beat the Luers front line to the ball. Ball went about 14 yards where it was covered by Eli Riley.
So here we were just talking about him, and somebody must have told him. Here he is, first kickoff, covers the onside kick, and what an exciting way for the Norwell Knights to start the ball game. And frankly, I wouldn't want to kick off to Justin Gaston or Jordan Presley or Ty Hambright.
No, those guys are pretty good running the ball.
So here we are. Ball's going to start at the 46-yard line of the Luers Knights compared to the Norwell Knights.
Norwell opening up in a pistol formation with two running backs in the backfield with the quarterback Riley. Riley keeps the ball.
Wow, he's going to pick up a first down.
A little zone read. Again, like we talked about last week, quarterback's reading that backside end, and the backside end closes down on the running back. Quarterback keeps it around the end, had a nice run, a nice gain for a first down. It's a nice way to start the ball game.
Well, actually, I see that they marked him back. Actually, they didn't give him the first down, but it's going to be 2nd and 1. So
short one.
Yeah, it's a very short one. That's right. So Riley's going to be in the shotgun this time, and behind him is probably Carson Ringer. Ringer's going to just plug right up there, and I think he'll get the first down. Now, it looks like that's where the official is marking it.
The linesman signaled timeout, and they're moving the chains, and then they'll start the clock once the chains have been moved. Carson Ringer leads them with 902 yards on the ground on 190 attempts. It's a nice season.
Yeah, anytime you get close to 1,000 yards on a season, I would think that's a winner. Doesn't matter if it's in college, high school, or even in the NFL.
Of course, in high school, they play fewer games until they get to the playoffs. So
sure. So Ringer's once behind. Again, he's behind his quarterback. He's going to take that handoff two-handed. Probably have to do that a lot tonight. Probably see that where with the ball being a little slippery, maybe a little cold.
Slippery, cold. The other Luers is going to be trying to strip it. This is the kind of weather where you increase your attempts to strip the ball from the offense. So yeah, they're going to cover it up twice. He hit that line as soon as the defenders were close. He covered it up with both arms to make sure it didn't get stripped away.
He did pick up one on the play, and so it's going to be 2nd down and 9. Two receivers to the far side. And now this time number 21 goes in the middle, maybe picks up 3 or 4. That's Brice Kelly, a senior.
He's their second leading rusher on the year, 63 carries for 252 yards.
So it looks like it's going to be about 3rd down and 7, and there's 10:03 here on the clock. We have to actually get up and look out the window to see the clock here at Luers.
Yeah, if the ball goes the other direction, the other end of the field, I may have to stand on your shoulders to see out. I'm here in the corner, blocked out a little bit.
One nice thing about this place is that there's plenty of warmth because of all the bodies that are so close together. Handoff, again, that's to Ringer. He's going to pick up maybe 2, but it's going to be 4th down. The ball's going to be placed, looks like, about the 31-yard line of Luers, and I think Coach Gerber is going to send out the punting unit, and Norwell's going to kick it away. It looks like it's still raining, but doesn't look like it's raining as hard as it was earlier in the afternoon. This field actually looks like it's in excellent condition. So we have Presley back. Ooh, almost blocked. And boy, that ball's going to settle down around the 5-yard line, I think. So that turns out to be an excellent kick by Eli Riley, the quarterback, the kicker, and the place kicker for the Norwell Knights.
Luers will start deep in their own territory. See what they get going on this first drive, led by their quarterback, Knappy, on the year. 158 attempts for almost 1,200 yards and 10 touchdowns.
When we were here a couple weeks ago, he's just a great game manager. Doesn't throw a lot of picks, and basically hands it off to either Presley or Hambright, who pick up the lion's share of the yards. This time it's going to go to Hambright. Hambright's coming to the near side, trying to break the come around the corner. Some of the coaches are yelling a hold, but I don't see any laundry on the field. So that's going to be about 2nd and 6, or they're going to pick up 6, so it'll be 2nd and 4.
It's just a little toss sweep play out to the wide part of the field, and Hambright was able to get out and pick up 6 yards, make it manageable 2nd down.
So now with 2 running backs behind him, Kanapke goes underneath center. He has 2 receivers to the right. This time we have number 32, Hambright, again. This time he gets another maybe 3 or 4 yards, and looks like he's going to pick up a 1st down for the Bishop Luers Knights.
They ran a little counter play there. When I used to coach, we used to call that a cross buck, where they fake the ball to one running back going one way and then give it back to the other running back going the other way, pull a couple linemen.
Coach, is there a way to get used to this cold weather when you're out there?
I tell you what, the kids on the field are going to be fine. They got their adrenaline pumping. They're in a big game. They're excited to be here. It's the kids on the sideline that never get in the game that get cold and rainy and get a little bit. Of course, if it's a good, close game, they're excited.
Hambright breaks a tackle, and he's going to pick up another 1st down. I understand, because you work at Southside, I understand that Ty Hambright's father actually went to Southside.
I was not aware of that.
So
it's amazing how many kids of former athletes, they go different schools than where their parents did. It's a lot different world now than when so many of these kids' parents went to school.
Yep, kind of lost that family feel in some ways.
Yeah.
Well, the ball is placed at about the 29-yard line of the Bishop Luers Knights. Kanapke has that little sack in front to keep his hands warm, tucks underneath, quick pitch out, and just like that, it goes off the hands of number 3, Camden Childers.
That first throw on a night like tonight when the ball's wet and cold, sometimes it feels like a rock trying to catch that ball. I don't know if Childers is a little gun shy or what, because it looked like it was right on his hands, but sometimes that slips through there before you even know it.
So now number 21, Kamari Harris checks in. And here to the near side, we have Justin Gaston, who is a real speed burner, 3rd leading rusher, but he is also an excellent with the run backs as well as on defense. Well, Luers is going to call a timeout, and so we're going to take a timeout here as well and go to one of our sponsors, Parkview Sports Medicine.
How do you design one of the most advanced ERs in the country? At Parkview, we did it by focusing all our attention on you, the patient, by involving doctors and nurses in the design process, by creating quieter, more private spaces, and by leading the region in heart, stroke, and trauma care. This is not your typical emergency room. It's Parkview. In an emergency, isn't this where you'd rather be?
Parkview, your partner in health.
Welcome back to Bishop Luers High School, where we have just less than 8 minutes to go. Kanapke now is in the he's going to send Hambright into motion. He's going to hand it off to Presley. Presley's breaking multiple tackles, gets a 1st down and a little bit more. I was trying to say he was in the shotgun, but for whatever reason that was coming to me. You know, Coach, just before the timeout, we were talking about Gaston.
Yeah, you're talking about how he does a little bit of everything. He has 319 rush yards, 282 receiving yards, 192 kick return, and punt return. Yeah, he does a little bit of everything for Bishop Luers, all-around yard gainer.
I'm sure as a coach that you love when you have a player like that can be that utility player, can do a little bit of everything. Kanapke dumps off the screen to Presley, and he's going to be taken out of bounds. Looks like the official's going to mark him in Norwell territory, about the 48-yard line.
Nice little screen pass. The linemen let the defenders go, and they throw the ball over the top. Is over here to the left side. Picked up about 7 yards. It's going to be about 8 yards. Second and a long 2.
So with this, we have 7:26 left here in the first quarter in sectional action, semifinals here. Kanapke hands it off, this time to Presley again, and man, he just barrels down in the middle and gets a big first down. Luers is beginning to get quite a bit of yardage and take control here in this first quarter, even though no score has taken place.
There's been a lot of Presley on this drive, a lot of feeding the ball to him. He is their leading rusher for the year with 788 yards on 101 carries.
I saw that he was second team SAC. Hambright goes right up the middle again and spins a couple times and finally is taken down. Looks like by number 11, the quarterback, Riley for Norwell.
I'm going to watch that.
So it's the ball is now at the I believe that's the 29-yard line, and it's first down and 10. We've got Presley in the backfield, and Hambright goes into motion, and now Presley's going to go right up the middle.
Yeah, they bring Hambright in motion there and fake the jet sweep, trying to get the linebackers to flow with that, and then they give the ball back up the middle. That gives the lineman a chance to get up to that second level and get a good leverage or good angle on those linebackers, and then they run the ball off those 2 blocks.
So the ball's going to be placed at looks like about the 13, if I can see that correctly. We have the I formation, correct, Coach?
That is an I formation.
With split receivers left and right, and Hambright this time is going to go off the left-hand side. Oh, there's a fumble on the play, and Norwell's going to pick it up. That's number 18, I believe, for Norwell. Hambright just had that ball pop right out, and wow, what a break.
Belden Glasgow on the recovery.
So Glasgow, he's one of the leading defenders in terms of in the air normally. He picks up the interceptions, has 2 on the season. But this one, he picks up the fumble from Hambright, and it's placed at the 9-yard line. So what a significant play, stopping this Luers drive with 5:58 left here in the first
That's a big
quarter.
turnaround. It looked like Luers was going to power in and get a touchdown now. Norwell has the ball and stop that momentum. Maybe they can get something going.
We have a rollout. Now it's going to go over the head of the intended receiver, number 3. That's Christian Bohada. He's a senior, 5'8", 160 pounds.
Yeah. Number 3, Bohada, leads the team in receiving yards, 300 yards on the season on 20 receptions. He does have 4 touchdowns in the air from the Norwell quarterbacks.
So it's going to be second down and 10. There's 18 seconds left on the play clock. And the Norwell freshman quarterback, Eli Riley, he's got 2 receivers to the left and 2 to the right, only 1 back. This time he's going to fake it. Oh, and it pops out of his hands, and Bishop Luers says that they have it. So, wow. And the signal is it's Luers' ball. So, wow, what a costly pop and fumble for the freshman, Eli Riley.
That was a great play by the Luers tackler. He put his helmet right on the ball, knocked that ball right out. I think Riley was carrying it fairly securely, but when you make a nice tackle and put the helmet right on the ball, knocked it right out of his hands.
I'm sure also with it being cold, those pops hurt that much more.
Especially when you fumble the ball.
Yeah. My thought is, poor kid, he has to go right back out there and play defense now. So doesn't have time to mope or put his head down. He just has to go right out there and play again.
I tell you what, if you're a freshman, you're playing in a varsity game in sectional.
There's no moping.
There's no moping.
Yeah.
That kid, is probably playing like a junior or senior if he's out there on the field in this environment, in this situation.
Kanapke hands it off to Hambright, who fumbled on the last possession, and he's going to pick up maybe 5. And it looks like the ball is going to be placed about the 5 or 6 yard line, so it'll be 2nd down and 4.
I thought I saw a replay of last week with all those ISO plays that Dwenger was running. Luers ran a little isolation play there with the lead back up inside on the linebacker, and then Hambright making a cut off that block.
Kamari Harris coming back into the play for Luers. Again, 2nd down and probably 5 or 6. They still can get a 1st down without scoring a touchdown. I formation again, number 14, Jed Enke goes into motion now. Hambright on the left-hand side looking for the corner, and it looks like he just went out of bounds, just shy of the pylon there on the left-hand side.
But he's going to pick up the 1st down. They'll get 4 cracks from there. That'll be a nice opportunity for Luers to punch the ball in. That's always an advantage when you can get a 1st down without scoring and get the ball closer. Gives you more opportunities to punch it into the end zone.
Well, again, we have the I formation. We have one receiver on the right-hand side. This time it's going to be handed off to Hambright. And Hambright, it's touchdown, Bishop Luers. So with 4:44 here in the 1st quarter, Bishop Luers goes up 6-0.
That's Hambright's 10th rushing touchdown on the year, leading the team. Preston is one behind him, or was one behind him with 8, so they're their 2 ground scorers.
And this time, one of the top kickers in the SAC, Peyton Howe, is going to try for the extra point. And this time, it doesn't get much more than about 2 feet off the ground, and so it's no good. So it's 6-0 with 4:44 left here in the 1st quarter. We're going to go to a little advertisement here for Summit City Sports. If you're not aware of what Summit City Sports is doing in this community for our kids, please check this out.
Ryan looking to center into the slot to Esther, but broken up by Scott. He shoots, hit, scores!
Now the sticks are up, and now this is bad news. Everyone going at it down here in the corner.
Fort Wayne
McClung
Hockey.
with the dink.
6 teams.
Bone cutter to Ryan Freeby with the shot from the point. He scores!
Live stream games new this season. Follow us on Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, and SummitCitySports.com.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, we're back here at Luers Field here on the south side of Fort Wayne in sectional semi-final action. Luers was marching down the field. They had a fumble, and then Norwell, I think, had 2 plays, and they had a fumble. And then Luers, with 4:44 in the 1st quarter, punched it in with about a 1-yard run by Ty Hambright. And so now Luers is going to kick it off. Nice boot. And it's going to go, wow, all the way down to about the 3-yard line before the Norwell runner. I did not see his number. He does cross the 20-yard line and comes out to about the 24. And so the ball will be 1st and 10. We'll have to see how the youngster, and I don't mean that offensively to Eli Riley, but he is a freshman.
You know, I didn't see who had that either, but looking at their stat sheet, Eli Riley is their leading kick returner. So I'm going to make a guess here and say that was Eli Riley on that return.
Wow, and in talking to our friends from the broadcast booth for Norwell, they said that he's the reason why they won these last 2 games. So again, when you have former quarterbacks like Harnish, those are big shoes to fill. So Norwell's going to run forward. There is a flag in the play. That's number 23, I believe. Carson Ringer, the leading rusher. He picks up maybe 5 or 6, but we'll see what the officials call. Anything you see out there, Coach, beside yellow flags?
I'm looking, and there's one flag in the middle which might be holding, but now they're marching it off on Luers.
No, actually.
Well, I got a face mask, 5-yard face mask.
Okay, sure.
Face mask on Bishop Luers.
So they add that to the end of the run. It's enough yardage for the first down. That was the 5-yard variety. They also have a personal foul, 15-yard variety. So apparently in this case he just grabbed it, did not turn or try to pull him down with it.
Sure. So now we have 1st and 10. Ball, I believe, is about the 34-yard line. Quick handoff to Ringer. It's going to be taken down by number 21, Kamari Harris, for Luers. Looks like he picked up maybe 2 on the play. Nose of the ball is just about the 35-yard line with 4 minutes left here in the first quarter. It seems like every play, Eli Riley goes over to see his coach to get the play and brings it in.
Yeah, he's going to be a tired puppy running back and forth to get those plays, especially when they get down to one end or the other.
So now we have 3 receivers here on this near side, 1 on the far side. And another fumble, and Riley's reaching for it, but Bishop Luers thinks they have it. Yeah, big number 55. Mitch, how did you say his last name? Geely comes up with the fumble. So 2 fumbles, 1 off a snap and 1 off a run, both probably at the responsibility of number 11, Eli Riley.
It looked to me on that one like he just took his eyes off it as he received it, was getting ready to make the play and just lost it. A little anxious to make a play, and sometimes you take your eyes off it. It's unfortunate. Luers gets the ball deep in Norwell territory.
So right now we have two fumbles for the Norwell Knights, and we have 1 fumble for the Bishop Luers Knights. And those are the kind of mistakes you just cannot make in this kind of game.
No.
There is a flag going to be thrown as Hambright tries to cut around the corner and maybe picks up a couple.
Flag was thrown as soon as the ball was snapped, so I'm assuming that was an illegal shift or maybe an illegal formation penalty.
How many years were you a referee or an official with IHSAA?
I officiated football about. It was an illegal formation. If it had been a false start, he gives a sign for a false start, but that would have killed the play before the play started. So since the flag was after the play started, that's probably was an illegal formation. Not enough men on the line of scrimmage. One of Luers' players was probably back off the line. I officiated football for about 10 years. I'm still doing it. I'm just not on a Friday night crew right now. I'm enjoying doing the lower level and letting my knees recuperate from my 2 knee surgeries.
And aren't you glad you don't have to be out there tonight?
My knees are barking just sitting in this cold weather.
Pass is complete to number 3, Childers, and there's another fumble on the play, or was he going to be ruled down?
It was right here in front of Luers' bench, so I didn't see exactly what happened.
Well, Norwell's heading back to the bench. They're all excited, so I think they believe they have it, and they do.
There's a little quick pass out to the boundary side, out to here to the near side to Childers, and he caught the ball, made a little run, and couldn't see what happened right there in front of Luers' bench, but apparently he fumbled it, and Norwell came up with the ball, so that's their second fumble as well.
Wow, two fumbles for each team thus far, and again, it's chilly, and this is really the first adverse weather these teams have had all season.
It really is. I remember. Well, let's see what happened on the play.
Number 23 that's Ringer. Maybe picks, actually he loses maybe 2 or 3.
Long 2, short 3, as we were saying.
Yeah.
I remember a few years ago, in one year, we had so much rain that we were making up games on Saturday left and right.
Yep.
And like you said, this is the first really bad weather Friday night we've had all season, which isn't bad for almost November.
Yeah, that's correct. So now Riley's back, tries to go over the middle. He was well well protected or well guarded by number 34, Alan Jackson.
Pass was intended for Garrison Breggy. Has 231 yards on the year in receiving yards.
So it's going to be third down and 2:33 left here in the first quarter. And Luers is up 6-0. They did miss their extra point. So we have two receivers left and right, and the Riley, boy, he's just trying to get out of there. He flips it. I don't know where it went. Looked like he flipped it out of bounds, perhaps.
He's throwing it to that receiver coming back down along the sideline. I think the ball did get out of bounds. He was running for his life as soon as he received that ball from the center. So now you got a 4th and 12. I'm sure Norwell will punt in this situation in their own territory. They're not going to want to turn the ball over short again to Bishop Luers and give him a short field.
Again, Eli Riley is the punter as well, and so he's back at the about the 20. He gets it away, about the 24 that is, and takes a Norwell bounce, and finally is going to be down by number 8, Diego Menorga. And so the ball, I believe that is at the 32-yard line, where Luers will take over 1st and 10 with 2:16 here in the first quarter at Bishop Luers High School. I have a feeling we're just going to see run play after run play. Of course, I think it looks like maybe the rain has stopped, and if that's the case, then maybe as the evening goes on, they'll air it out a little bit. But
well, Luers has always liked to be a throwing team, so they're not going to go totally away from it. But if they feel like they can pound the ball,
Presley just smash mouth football right up the middle. Looks like he picks up maybe 4 or 5 on the play, so it'll be 2nd down and 6. The ball is resting at the 36-yard line.
That time Luers was in a double tight end formation, which usually indicates a running formation. Not always, but I think you're right, at least for now, that Luers might stick with the run. They're having good success with it. Norwell really hasn't stopped them running the ball. Luers has stopped themselves with the two turnovers.
So now we have 2 receivers here to the right, but we're going to, or near side, and Presley, he's tripped up. I can't see, that was number 19. Landon Geiger that stopped his forward progress, but he maybe picks up a yard at most, and it's going to be 3rd down and 5. Again, we have 1:12 remaining here in the first quarter at Bishop Luers. Luers up 6-0.
Trying to look to see if there's any flags or anything to get a determination to see if the wind's blowing one way or the other. That might indicate or dictate a little bit throwing the ball depending on which way you're headed on offense, but I can't see any indications of wind one way or the other.
I think there's a timeout called for the Norwell Knights, and so we're going to take a quick timeout here at Bishop Luers High School and just give you a quick word from Parkview Sports Medicine.
Sweeter than strawberry pie, just like the morning your smile brings the sunshine.
The Parkview Family Birthing Centers, with everything you need for baby, plus birth planners, expert physicians, midwives, and more for you.
I'm a Parkview mom.
You can be too. Learn more at parkviewmom.com.
On that ISO.
Well, here we are back at Luers Stadium, where, you know, for a cold, blustery night, the fans across the way from Norwell, they not quite half full, and obviously not the normal Luers crowd either. Maybe they were expecting this game to be live, but due to some internet connective activities, we couldn't bring it to you live, but we will bring it here on Sports. Oh, there's another fumble. Kanepke He's going to be taken down by big number 55. That's Preston Graham, a junior, 6 foot, 212 pounds. That's a big boy.
Yeah, Knapke was trying to give the ball to Gaston on the end around, and just as he was handing it off, he got tackled. Fortunately, another player for Luers, number 21, Harris, picked the ball up and tried to make something happen, but now they're at 4th and 10.
So Peyton Howe is going to be back at his 30-yard line where he's going to kick away. Nice kick, and I'm wondering if the wind is blowing that way because that ball was touched by the Norwell player, and so I think that's going to be that's going to be Bishop Luers' ball. Just by looking at the player, that's number 12, Garrison Briggy, the junior. He tried to catch it, but his hands were real high and kind of went off his arms. And so we have another turnover. So the ball is going to be placed at the perhaps 17-yard line where Luers will go from where their kicker kicked off about the 30 all the way down to about the 17-yard line. That's quite a big pickup.
Oh, yeah, that's a nice change of field position for Luers.
So here we have 3 and 3 turnovers, and I think that is and that's what happened. I was wondering why the players were going off to the side. It's the end of the first quarter, and Bishop Luers is up 6, but they're knocking on the door again here against Norwell. So any thoughts here on this first quarter, Coach?
Well, I think because of the cold and the weather, both teams are trying to run the ball. Both have struggled holding on to the ball. There have been some real nice plays by the defense on both sides to knock the ball loose. Luers has had the advantage. They've had the ball deep in Norwell's territory and much more than Norwell's had it in their territory. So they've had a bit of an advantage in that regard. We'll see what they can do here. They're deep in there in Norwell territory again. 1st and 10.
So this time it's taken by Hambright, and he's going to try to get around the edge, but he's not going to make it as we go here to start the second half here at Bishop Luers High School. Henschen for Norwell is going to be credited with the tackle. It looks like the ball is about the 17-yard line, and it's going to be 2nd and 9.
Norwell made a nice play. One of the defenders got up into the backfield as Luers handed that ball off and forced Presley to break that play outside, and he just got run down. There's a lot of pursuit out to the outside.
Knapke is going to be looking deep, and it looked like looked like number 12. That's Zach Robbins. Looked like he might have tried to catch that. I'm wondering if it was for the receiver behind him.
Well, they had two routes within 10 yards of each other. I think Coach Lindsay would have liked to have had those two players a little bit further apart. One maybe at 5 yards, maybe one more at 15 yards, but they were within 5 yards of each other. It makes it hard because now not only do you got 2 receivers in the area, you got 2 defenders in the area.
So now we have 3rd down and 10. And we've got Gaston going to split out along with number 3 Childers. And then and Knapke is going to send it out. There is a flag in the play. There's another fumble as well. And which way they're going to direct it, but don't forget there is a yellow flag on the field. See anything there, Coach?
Well, the flag was thrown right away, so I'm assuming it might be another illegal formation or an illegal shift.
You think that
that's an illegal shift? Norwell recovered the fumble, so they're going to decline the penalty. It's going to be Norwell ball.
I couldn't tell if he actually had possession of that ball.
Well, that's always the question. The rule is you catch the ball and you turn and make a football move, meaning you run or you try to avoid somebody. In the eyes of the officials on that play, they believed he had made a football move and they had possessed the ball before he lost it.
It's just an amazing start to this game. I think that's 3 turnovers for both teams. So three fumbles for each squad. And that time, number 23, Carson Ringer, the leading running back for the Norwell Knights, just goes right up the middle, picks up about 4 or 5 yards. We've got 10:42. Pretty quick game when you are just...
You keep the ball on the ground, the clock runs.
That's right.
Yeah.
We might get home before the Dwenger New Haven game or the Snyder Homestead game that will be on Summit City Sports tonight. Another run right up the middle. Doesn't look like he picked up much. I see the chain gang. They didn't move the marker at all. So it's going to be 3rd down and 6. So I would think Norwell would want to pass, but we'll see. I think they're all a little gung shy right now because of the amount of turnovers thus far.
Well, they've got 3 receivers out to this left side. That's a good passing formation. And he's going to roll this way.
Just plants his feet. Oh, right through the hands of number 3, Christian Bohada. And so that's going to be 4th down and 6. And I'm guessing that the quarterback who will become the punter, Eli Riley, will punt it away. I doubt they'll play like Southside did and try to kick it, try the fake from their own end zone. That was still amazing to me last week. And here we go. The kick is nice boot. And it's going to be taken by Presley. Presley, here we go. Comes around the corner. Has some blockers up front. And he's tiptoeing along the line.
We do have a flag back here at the 40-yard line, at Norwell 40-yard line. Probably a block in the back. So they'll go 10 yards back from that flag.
There's a player on the Bishop Luers side that is spoken to by his coach, and kind of says, "Yeah, that was me." And the other player from his squad taps him on the hat. So it's like, yeah, he knows that he did it. So, wow, nullifies a big run back for Presley. So will that be from the spot of the foul that they'll move that back?
It'd be from where they threw the flag. So he has the spot of the foul.
So it looks like the ball is going to be placed.
Probably right at midfield.
Right at midfield. Well, actually,
they're going 15 yards.
Wow.
That wasn't a block in the back. Let's see what they call.
Personal
foul.
Personal foul called on Luers.
This year in football, in high school football, they've added the illegal blindside block, and that's a 15-yard personal foul penalty. And you get those a lot on kick returns and punt returns when the field's wide open and people are looking to make a block. So I'm going to guess that's what they called on that.
Where they would say the player was defenseless?
Yes.
Okay.
And was unaware of the block coming. And so that's a safety issue they've built into the rules this year.
Oh, I was looking for Presley, and it was Hambright that went the other way.
They ran that little counter again where they fake it to the first back going to the far side, and they brought it back to Hambright going this way, and had 2 blockers out in front of him that pulled from the backside, a little counter play.
So 2nd down and 4. The ball's right in front of us here at Luers Stadium, and it's at the 49-yard line. We've got 9:05 left here in the half, with Bishop Luers leading 6-0. So single back, 3 receivers to the left side. This time it's Presley. He breaks a couple tackles, jukes around, and he could be gone. He's at the 5. He's at the 5, and touchdown, Bishop Luers.
That was a real nice run by Presley on that. He came to this near side and broke a couple tackles, and then took it back across the other side and scored in the opposite corner end zone. Real nice athletic kind of run.
So 49 yards on that play, and the kicker for Luers, Peyton Howes, lining up for an extra point. The holder is number 4, Reese Zay. Snap. It's down, and it's good.
Nope.
So with 8:42 here in the first half, Bishop Luers is up 13 and over Norwell with nothing.
A little surprised on that they kicked the extra point after not getting it the first time. You thought maybe they'd go for 2 so they could get to that 14-point margin, but they were happy just to kick the PAT.
Once again, we have 8:42 here in the second quarter, and that run again, that kind of reminded me of actually the week before when Mikhail Stevenson picked up a touchdown against Homestead. Just a few jukes here and a couple good blocks there, and 49-yard touchdown.
And we saw one of those last week with Dwenger in Southside in the first round of the sectionals, where the running back for Dwenger, that Chip Clark, made a similar run. Came to one side of the field and then cut it back all the way across to the other side of the field, and then actually cut it back into the middle and finished in the middle of the end zone. I tell you what, there's a lot of really good running backs in this SAC that are fast, they're quick, they've got quick feet, they change direction make it very difficult on tacklers in the open field.
I don't know exactly how they pick all SAC, but I was surprised that Hambright got honorable mention, and someone who's rather similar in terms of yards, Presley, he got second. So I don't begrudge him. Excellent runner. Norwell does keep a hold of the ball this time, and they get out maybe to the 37.
It was Brice Kelly on the return. He was back there with Eli Riley. There's the 2 kick returners. That one came to Kelly that time.
So here we're going to start another drive led by Eli Riley, the quarterback for the Norwell Knights. As we've already said, it's the Battle of the Knights, so I have to clarify which night we're talking about. 2 receivers left and right. And, oh, wow. I believe that was Ringer right up the middle, and, boy, he had a pretty violent collision with number 53, Blake Weber.
I think that was Brice Kelly that time.
But my word. Hello and welcome to welcome to Luers. Ball is at the 30. Looks like, sounds like we heard over the radio that Bishop Dwenger is beating the New Haven Bulldogs 3-0 at this point. I don't think they're going to get back. Well, they're actually going to pick up maybe a couple on that run.
Brice Kelly then again, they're 5 yards in the first 2 carries. So 3rd and 5 is manageable. You'd like to be 3rd and 2 or 3, but 3rd and 5 you do have some options. It's a lot better than 3rd and 7 or 8. So
Norwell
we'll see what Norwell tries to do on this play.
Norwell needs to pick up a first down.
Just to stop the bleeding, so to speak.
Yeah. 2 receivers left and right, single back in the backfield. Handoff right up the middle, some good blocks. Don't think he's going to make the first down. He's going to be just shy of it. I don't know, that's going to be close. So it is 4th down and 1. Too soon to go for it unless you do a fake here. Don't forget that
you're still within your own 40-yard line. Again, like we saw last week with South continuing giving Dwenger short fields, Norwell does not want to give Luers another short field.
And it seems like the ball is carrying well from south to north. So, and he's going to kick it away. Weren't quite sure. Wanted to give his blockers a chance to get downfield, and once again, the initial ball that was picked up by the kickoff returner, number 1, Gaston, was fumbled, but he picked his own fumble up and is right now maybe at the 30-yard line.
Teams have gone to what they call a rugby-style kick, where the punter takes the ball and runs out to one side, usually to your right side if you're right-footed punter. And like you said, it gives your coverage team time to get down there And so you don't have to have as great a punt, and your coverage team can be down there ready to make the play almost as soon as the receiver gets the ball, and that's exactly what happened there.
Well, you certainly don't want to give Gaston, Presley, or Hambright, the 3 returners, much of an opportunity to return, and they'll burn you.
Well, I think that was the first time they tried that, and after the last one that almost went for a touchdown, I think maybe Norwell decided to change that up a little bit.
Hambright's going to take the nice tackle. That was interesting because the tackler, number 68 for Norwell, that's Cole Louison. He ended up on the bottom of the tackle.
Yeah, he kind of pulled him down on himself. He's their 3rd leading tackler on the year with 40 tackles.
So that was a nice play by Louison and drove back Hambright maybe 5 yards on that play. We've got 5:30 left here in the half here at Bishop Luers. Luers up 13-0. Kanapke. Oh, it's going to be tipped and intercepted by number 23. And I believe that is Carson Ringer. And he's going to get pushed out of bounds. Again, the ball just tipped up in the air, and Ringer was there to go the other way.
Yeah, I think that was Gaston who they threw it to and went off his hands, and Ringer was there just to make the play. They were really fortunate not to give up a pick 6 on that. He got down to, I think, the 5-yard line. So Norwell's going to now have a short field and a chance to punch it in.
I need to move down this monitor here, Coach, so you can actually see the play because you're blocked out from where we are sitting here in the press box. So it's at the 10-yard line.
10-yard line, okay.
And Kanapke, no, I'm sorry, that's the other team. Carson, he gets the ball from Riley. Looks like he's going to pick up maybe 3, and it'll be 2nd down. And just like it was in the first quarter, Norwell can get a 1st down about the 1 or 2 yard line, just like Bishop Luers had that opportunity earlier. So the ball's just inside the 10.
No, it's not a flag. Thank you.
We have Mrs. Mary Kiefer, the announcer. She's the former principal here at Luers. You'd think that those officials would listen to her. Swing out, and oh boy, there is going to be there is a flag on the play.
No, they didn't.
I don't know if that was pass interference on the defense or.
Yeah, that's what he's going to call.
So he puts his hands out, and he's going to call that against Bishop Luers. So
that's a penalty that usually carries a 15-yard penalty from the previous spot. Since they're inside the 15-yard line, they'll go half the distance. Replay the down, so it'll be 2nd and about from about the 6-yard or about the 5-yard line because they were at the 4.5. They were inside the 10 at the 9.
I won't say anything about math because I was.
Yeah, we learned that last week. I'm not a math guy. I'm a social studies guy. Thanks, Mike. Appreciate that. I always love when people point out my shortcomings, of which there are so many.
Yeah. Well, I have plenty, and one of them is being an announcer. So quick handoff, but a beautiful tackle by number 21. Kamari Harris comes up from behind and brings down Ringer. So he's going to lose, it looks like maybe 2 on the play, so it's going to be 3rd down and 5.
This is a big play for Norwell, and they really need to try to get some points out of this drive.
Just to
sure, they'd love to punch it in, but I would imagine they'd be a second field goal. They would, that wouldn't be bad either. Just the touchdown would be best for them.
Just to for their own psychic and momentum. To say that they were able to score on this defense. So now Riley's rolling out, some good blocks up front. There is a flag, and he's going to be taken down. There's a flag in the backfield.
In the middle of the backfield there. That's usually where you get a holding call.
Boy, and that would really hurt because then they'd lose 10 yards. Yep, it's a hold against Norwell as the official.
Yeah, but let's see what Luers decides to do because you could have 4th down where they got the ball, where the tackle was made back around the 10, or you could take it, move it back, and be 3rd from the 15. So let's see what Luers decides to do on this. You got a choice there. Maybe you want to put them at 4th down. Maybe you want to push them back.
I think the official waved his hands as if they're going to.
Well, he'll come over and give us the official signal here.
I think they're gonna turn it down, not accept it. There's so the ball, so it is hold, and it's declined.
So it's going to be 4th and 10 from about the 11-yard line or so.
I think there's going to be a timeout called, or are they just they're doing that special play maybe, or no, it was on the hash over there.
They're lining up to kick the field goal. Yeah.
Don't see flags on top of these goalposts, so we'll have to. Don't know if there's any wind in his face to the left or to the right, and it's good. So Eli Riley puts his team, the Norwell Knights, on the scoreboard with 3:31 left here in the first half. We're going to take you to a commercial break before these two teams will kick it off. So congratulations to Eli Riley in putting the 3 points up on the board.
Friday Night Lights. Fort Wayne football from the comfort of your own home, or when you're on the go, the same night the pigskin touches the end zone or is stopped dead in its tracks. 10 teams, 5 games, 1 website. SummitCitySports.com. Live streamed high school games, score updates, and news hub for all Fort Wayne athletics. Find us on Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, and SummitCitySports.com.
Welcome back here to SummitCitySports.com. You can follow us on Twitter at 260 Sports. You can like us on Facebook at Summit City Sports, or you can subscribe to our YouTube channel at Summit City Sports. I'm here, Michael Mortensen, with CJ Graff, former coach and official, doing our color commentary. I appreciate Coach being here a second week in a row to help describe these plays as well as giving some of the stats on the night. So we have the Battle of the Knights here at Luers Field. Kicker is also the quarterback, and he's going to squib kick it, and this time is going to go to Gaston. Watch out, he has the quarterback just dives underneath his feet. He's still up, and he finally is going to get knocked down and out of bounds. So again, Gaston is so tough to pull off or pull down, especially perhaps with a wet jersey.
You know, in the timeout there after the field goal, I heard the Norwell broadcast team mention that was Riley's career-long field goal. So that was a nice job by that young freshman to come in and make a big kick, put his team on the scoreboard late here in the first half.
You know, win or lose, what an opportunity for a freshman, and what valuable experience that he has getting ready for next year.
Absolutely.
So it's going to be 1st and 10. Gaston was finally taken out of bounds at the, I believe that's the 35-yard line. Again, it's been kind of a sloppy game tonight with the wet and cold conditions. Kanapke is in the shotgun with Presley to his left, 2 receivers left and right. Gaston goes into motion, pitches to Gaston, coming across the field, puts on the afterburners. Here he comes. Could be at the 10, the 5, touchdown! Bishop Luers.
And there we go again. They run a little toss play to the far side, and he ends up making a cut and cutting back all the way across the field and scoring in the middle of the field. Just fantastic run by Gaston. Just like his teammates, they really do a nice job of changing direction and making those cuts and putting Norwell at a disadvantage in the open field.
So with just about 30 seconds off the clock, Norwell scores. Man, Gaston went all the way across the field and then down and then across again. Peyton Howe's going to put his foot into it, and it's good. So the score is now 20-3 here in sectional action at Bishop Luers High School. So we have 3 minutes left here in the half And just like that, Luers is up 20-3. And Norwell, just for their own psychic, they really need to generate a drive here in the last 3 minutes of this half.
Well, I think it was encouraging for them to get that field goal, get on the board, know that they can make some plays and get some points on the board. But I think you're right. It would be nice to have a nice little drive here and get something going before and then in the half. If they could get this down to, you know, a 20-10 kind of game, I'm sure they'd be happy after some of the mistakes that they've made in this first half. As you said earlier, both teams have fumbled the ball 3 times. Usually that can lead to a lot of points. So the defenses have done pretty good holding one another down despite those 3 fumbles on each offense.
You know, I just got a text from SummitCitySports.com, and Snyder, I believe, is up 24-0 on Homestead. So that game was supposed to be the game, and boy, Snyder has put an exclamation point on that one.
Well, you know, they beat them by 20 down at Lucas Oil Field earlier in the year. A lot of people thought Homestead would have a chance to get some revenge or something here, but apparently not so far.
Here the return man for Norwell, the man who does it all, Eli Riley. He actually touched that ball, but he was able, fortunately for himself, was able to pick that up. But he's only going to get back to maybe the 10 or 11 yard line, and he's going to have 3:01 here to try to generate a drive against this Bishop Luers Knights defense.
It'll be interesting to see what Norwell wants to do here. A lot of times when you're deep in your territory late in the half, you might just want to run the ball because you don't want to give the ball back to Luers on your side of the 50-yard line. You don't want to go 3 and out here, get the ball back to them quickly and have them march it down again and score. So you want to run the clock a little bit, but you also want to try to make something happen. So you have a fine line of balancing those 2 goals in this kind of situation.
Pitch out to Ringer. He's going to go off the right-hand side. He's going to pick up maybe 2 on the play. The clock's going to keep moving now with 2:46 left. You know, case in point, Coach, you know, Luers got that Norwell got that field goal at 3:33, and then Luers scored 3:07 left in the half.
It was the first play from scrimmage after they returned the kickoff.
So now we have 2 receivers here to the near side, one to the far side. Here comes Riley looking deep. And oh, wow. That ball was right in the hands of Jordan Contrez. And that was an easy pick 6. So wow, now the clock stops. But my word, he had that right there in his hands, and he could see the end zone and nobody there to block.
And he could have walked in. Sometimes you get those opportunities, you get so excited and forget to catch the ball first.
I think that's probably the hardest thing, and at this level especially, is to catch it before you run. Relies back. Oh, he's trying to get it out to Carson in a short dump, and it's going to be 4th down. And unfortunately, the clock's going to stop. So
clock's going to stop, and they're going to kick the ball back to them. And depending on what kind of punt they get and what kind of return Luers gets, they might have a short field, and they might get a chance to score yet. So
2:14, and again, I just cannot believe how much. Probably a good thing that Eli Riley is a freshman because he runs to the sideline every time. I would think after doing that as many times as he will, you get tired. But he comes from his end zone, knuckle kick, takes a Norwell bounce. Looks like it's going to be go out of bounds at the 41, 42-yard line. And Bishop Luers is going to have 2:07 to see if they can generate some more points to go on top even further. Right now they're leading 20-3.
At this point, it'd be a big morale boost for Norwell if they can hold Luers out of the end zone, especially even more so if they can keep them from getting any points on the board at all.
How tough is it, Coach, when on a colder night like this, and this is by far not very cold comparatively to what may come later, but how hard is it to go back in that warm locker room and then come back out?
Well, again, for the kids that are getting to play a lot, they're anxious to get back out. The Norwell kids will be anxious to get back out and try to turn this game around in the second half. Luers is going to want to get back out. But it's the kids on the sideline. They're the ones that may want to stay in that locker room. And if you're one of the coaches who doesn't have a lot of responsibility, you may want to stay in the locker room as well.
Brandon Ware was on that play, and I think it just went out of his hands and down to the ground. So it's going to be 2nd and 10. But that's not good when you're the head coach. When you want.
No, I tell you what, both head coaches, the blood's pumping. They're not gonna notice this. They don't notice the cold or anything.
I don't know if you noticed this or not, but the Norwell staff, they're out in shorts. So handoff to Hambright, he spins around like a washing machine, and he's going to pick up a first down or be really close, depending on where they spot it.
Looks like they're marking him a little short. I didn't see any of the officials signal a timeout, which would indicate they thought he got a first down. So they're calling it 3rd down and short. Luers may go for a deep pass on this because they know on 4th down they're going to go for it anyway. Nope, they run it up the middle.
So with that, he's going to be the runner. I believe that's number 2, Presley. And there is, well, it looks like maybe a Norwell player is down. That's going to stop the clock. So it's 1:35 left here in the first half, and just hate seeing players down on the field, even though I know that that's just part of the game. I don't know. Well, the player is getting up. That's always a good sign. That's number 55, Preston Graham. He's a junior, and he's going to walk off on his own power to the other sideline. So we do want to thank Parkview Sports Medicine for their sponsorship of tonight's contest, and it's brought to you by SummitCitySports.com. You can follow us on Twitter at 260 Sports. You can like us on Facebook at Summit City Sports, or you can subscribe to our YouTube channel at Summit City Sports. So Kanapke in the shotgun, 2 receivers left and right. I believe that's Presley behind Kanapke. And kind of a delay, and Presley's going up, and he's going to score a touchdown.
It's just the old-fashioned draw play. Send the receivers out, get everyone's attention on the receivers. Quarterback drops back like they're going to pass the ball, and then you give a delay handoff.
Looks like there is a flag in the play. I didn't see it.
I see it's right there in the middle. I see it now as the referee's walking towards it.
So
from where that is, that looks like it's going to be a holding call.
But wow, he was take this off the clock, or we'll take this off the scoreboard then, and he marches it back 10 yards. But no wonder he was so wide open, and you don't have to give much. Many blocks for Presley to get a big gainer.
You know, he had a wide opening once they gave that draw handoff to him. That might be why there was a huge hole there, because of the hold.
And the flag was thrown basically about the line of scrimmage, but it was I was following the runner. Here Kanapke, we're going to do the same play again. This time he goes off the left-hand side, spins. He's going to be taken out of bounds. It's going to be close to a first down with 1:09 left. You know, if he was able to get out of bounds, which I think he is, that's a great play for Luers. It's now 2nd down. And looks like the ball is about the 20-yard line.
About 2nd and long 4, it looks like. I think they thought to themselves, it worked, we'll just run it again. This is the exact same play, just to the other side.
So Luers comes up to the line. Kanapke has Presley behind him and Hambrick. Hambrick's on the left-hand side, Presley on the right. This time it's to Hambrick. He's Hambright. He's going to go right up the middle as well. He's going to pick up first down, and that's going to stop the clock momentarily till they can reset the line markers. We have 1:02 left here in the first half. Luers is using good use of the clock. Kanapke has Presley behind him, 2 receivers left. Hambright fakes in the middle. Presley goes up the middle. And I believe he got to the 10, and just like that, Luers is going to call I think their second timeout. So again, we are grateful that you have joined us tonight, and we want to thank Parkview Sports Medicine for their sponsorship of tonight's broadcast.
How do you design one of the most advanced ERs in the country? At Parkview, we did it by focusing all our attention on you, the patient, by involving doctors and nurses in the design process, by creating quieter, more private spaces, and by leading the region in heart, stroke, and trauma care. This is not your typical emergency room. It's Parkview. In an emergency, isn't this where you'd rather be?
Parkview, your partner in health.
And we're back to live action. Luers is breaking out of their timeout huddle. Ball's at the 10-yard line, just about a minute to go here in the first half of this game, with Luers knocking on the door, already leading 20-3 over the Norwell Knights. Kanapke standing in the shotgun. He's looking downfield, throws it over the middle, and nice reception by Gaston. Any dirty laundry on the play there, Coach?
I'm not seeing any. Referee just single touchdown, so I think that one's going to hold.
So with that, Bishop Luers has six more points with 40.8 seconds left. That was just a great drive by Luers.
That's Gaston's 4th receiving touchdown on the year, to go along with 3 rushing touchdowns.
Ball's placed, and again, the ball, I don't think that ball even got a foot off the ground. So that's the second extra point, very uncharacteristic of the Bishop Luers kicker, number 8, Peyton Howe. But the Bishop Luers Knights, with 40.8 seconds left in the first half, are up over the Norwell Knights. And we're going to go into halftime, most likely, with a commanding lead for the Bishop Luers Knights. So how about that? That was the second touchdown of the night for Gaston. The last one, he ran it in, and this one, nice pass over the middle. Kanapke just stood there in the pocket, didn't have a lot of pressure, and was able to dump that in over the middle. And just like that, it's 26-3.
Yeah, excuse me, I said earlier 3 rushing touchdowns. Actually, he now has 4 rushing touchdowns and 4 receiving touchdowns, picking up 1 each tonight. Forgot about that earlier one.
Sure. I had to look at my score sheet to see that he had scored back-to-back. So it's actually been 4 scores in this second half. Luers led just 6-0 at the end of the first quarter. And now it's 26-3 as Howe steps into it, drives it high, and the ball is going to be picked up by Riley. He's going to get about 3 or 4 yards, and just like that, number 1, Justin Gaston.
Well, he's doing everything. He's running the ball in, he's catching a touchdown pass, he's making the tackle on the kickoff.
All he has to do now is run back a punt, and I think he'll have the trifecta.
Run back a punt and maybe throw a touchdown pass. Maybe a little double pass later or a sweep pass or something. He's done a little bit of everything tonight for him.
So the freshman quarterback, Eli Riley, has 36.3 seconds. At this point, Coach, do you just take a knee?
I don't know if you take a knee. You run a play, you never know what might break. But I don't know that you're going to try to elongate this at this point.
Carson Ringer, I'm assuming, is going to just get gobbled up right there in the middle. And there's no gain on the play. And so it'll be 2nd down and 10. Clock still running. Now 20 seconds left.
If Norwell doesn't want to, they're not going to have to run a play. So I'm not sure if they're going to line up and do that or not.
Riley's not running over the coach, so he's just looking at the scoreboard. So I think Luers, I think that was Hambright. He was looking to head back to the locker room.
Both sides are headed for their locker rooms now, so it's the end of the first half.
Well, Coach, it's 26-3 here in the first half, and we're going to go to halftime here. There's no band to record this week because of sectionals, so we just will take a break, and we'll come back for second half action here at Bishop Luers Stadium with Bishop Luers Knights up 26-3.
The restrooms are located to the north of the press box, and there is a concession stand on the Norwell side of the field.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Bishop Luers High School and sectional semifinal action here on SummitCitySports.com. You can follow us at Twitter at 260 Sports. You can like us on Facebook, or you can subscribe to our YouTube channel at SummitCitySports.com. I'm Michael Mortensen, along with CJ Graff, former coach and official. We're here with Bishop Luers leading the Norwell Knights 26-3. Starting the third quarter with a fresh 12 minutes on the clock. Luers is going to kick it away to Norwell. If you're the Norwell coach and you're in the locker room, what do you say to your players?
I think the first thing you point out is, look, we turned the ball over 3 times, and at times we moved the ball a couple plays either way, and we're right back in this ball game. So there's a lot to build some momentum, some excitement, some enthusiasm about. Let's see what they do on this first drive after halftime, see what kind of adjustments they might have made.
It's going to kick off to Eli Riley, who is the quarterback for the team, and the punter and the kicker. And he's going to get maybe 6 or 7 on the run back. It's going to be 1st and 10. Ball at the 26-yard line, I believe. And fresh set of downs and a new half. So we'll see what plays out here in this semifinal sectional action.
See if they stay run heavy as they did in the first half. There in the first half, the Ringer was 11 carries for 17 yards, and Kelly was 4 carries for 9 yards. So if they're going to continue to run the ball, they have to get more production out of the running game.
Yep.
Haven't really been able to throw the ball as much as I think maybe they would like to, or as successively as they'd like to. We got a Luers jump there. They're going to get a 1st and 5. That's a nice way to start your drive.
That's just a tough way to start the second half when your defender jumps and gives them that 5 yards. That's not the way the coach wants to start the second half.
No, I'm sure Luers' defensive coaches were not happy with that.
I noticed that on the sidelines here we have Jed Enking. He is playing catch, but I guess that was with Kanapke just to keep him warm. So with that, there's no gang on that carry with Ringer. So it's going to be 2nd down and 5. Again, Ringer's just going to have to pick it up if Norwell's going to come back.
And, the offensive line's going to have to block better. They're going to have to get a push. I'm looking down at those 2 Luers tackles. Those are big boys.
Yeah.
And they're going to have to get a push on those guys and reestablish the line of scrimmage for their downfield to give those running backs a chance.
Ringer's going to go off the right-hand side, does pick up 1 block. Looks like he's going to pick up 2. It's going to be 3rd and probably a long 3.
There you go, long 3. Attaboy. Picking up that lingo.
For those that don't know, Coach and I have done stats for Southside, and I continue to learn, and he's been happy to teach, so I appreciate that. So it's 3rd and a long 3, as I said, and the clock is down to 10:36. We have 2 receivers to the right, 1 here to the near side, 2 running backs. And looking downfield, nice ball, and I think it's caught, but it's being fought. Oh, Luers intercepted that. Wow, number 3, Camden Childers snuck in and stole it away from the intended receiver for Norwell.
That ball was intended for Garrison Berge, and they both got, the receiver and the defender got to the ball at the same time. They fought for it, and the Luers player came out of the pile with the ball. So they're giving the ball to Luers at their own 41-yard line, it looks like there.
Actually, that's
they're
46.
Yeah.
Wow, that's...
No, they're at Norwell's 49.
Yeah.
They're at Norwell's 49. Just across midfield there.
Yep, you're right. It's kind of hard to see the yard markers with the players standing in front of us. Hambright coming here on this near side, and
you got a good block right there on the edge. It sprung for about another 3 or 4 yards.
So it's going to be 2nd down and 5 here in the 3rd quarter. Luers Field. Luers with a nice size lead of 26-3. Essentially, they could run it probably the rest of the night and they'd be happy, but they may spread it out. Who knows? So they have receivers left and right. Hambright and Presley in the backfield. Kanapke hands it off to, no, actually that's number 12. And he spins, comes to the right side, finally going to be taken down, but he's going to pick up the 1st down. That's senior Zach Robbins.
Change that up a little bit with the new running back in there. That's the first time I think we've seen him run the ball. He had a nice little run there, though. Got Luers the 1st down. In the first half there, Hambright was 13 carries for 78 yards, and Presley was 10 carries for 108 yards and a touchdown.
Wow, there's going to be a personal foul called on Luers, and so that's going to nullify that 1st down. Must have taken place after the play, and so that'll be backing them up 15 yards, I believe. And
that's a huge penalty. That's a huge penalty. You just get the 1st down. That was.
Well, it is going to be 1st down at about 15, but that's just something you cannot have, and that has to drive the coach nuts, especially personal foul.
Well, I'm not sure whether they called that after the play or if it was during the play. If it's during the play, they'll go 15 back and replay the down. But if it was after the play, it'd be a 1st down. They'd go 15 yards back, and then it'd be 1st and 10 from wherever that spot is. I'm not sure they've clarified whether it was a dead ball play after, or a dead ball penalty after the play or during the play. Referees are gathering now to discuss that.
The White Hats talking to the line judge over there, and
they're going to move it back. It's going to be 1st and 10. So it was after the play as a personal foul, after the play, dead ball, personal foul. The 1st down counts. They go back 15 yards, and it's 1st down from that new line of scrimmage there.
You know, for all the teasing I gave you for your math, that was well spoken.
Counter,
right there. Counter play, and this side we have Hambright going to pick up probably a good 7 yards on the play, and it's going to be 2nd down and 3, maybe 2nd down and 4.
Did you see how they pulled those linemen, faked the ball to the far side and then brought it back to the near side, brought 2 linemen out in front of them? As you said, that's just old-fashioned counter play. Trying to get the defense to flow one way and then again get angles on those blockers with the pulling linemen.
Single receivers left and right. Kanapke almost pulls Norwell off sides, hands it off to Hambright. He's coming in the right side. He's got a block. He's got breaks another tackle. Finally going to be taken down about, I believe that's the 25-yard line. It's going to be 1st down.
That was a hard run. That was a man kind of run. He just was running through arm tackles, pushing defenders aside. That was an impressive run.
I don't know if you've noticed this, Coach, but Hambright, his jersey is probably one of the dirtiest out there. So he's had some tough yards, but that's going to get him close to the century mark. So, again, I'm not sure where Presley is, but we have number 12, Zach Robbins. And this time it's going to go to Hambright again off the left-hand side. And
that's a good question of where Presley's right there on the sideline.
Oh, sure. He's going to go out there now.
Here he goes. He's going to take the play in. And who's coming out? Hambright's coming out. So it looks like they're going to run Hambright and Presley back and forth and give number 12, Zach Robbins, some carries here in the 2nd half, up 26-3. Robbins is a sophomore, trying to get him some playing time for the future, it looks like.
Just we saw this with Southside this year. They had one stellar runner in Merkalen Harrison, who was one of the SAC Players of the Year. There is going to be a timeout for Bishop Luers, and that will be their first of the second half. And so we're going to take a break here at Bishop Luers High School and give thanks to Parkview Sports Medicine for their help in broadcasting these games weekly on SummitCitySports.com.
How do you design one of the most advanced ERs in the country? At Parkview, we did it by focusing all our attention on you, the patient, by involving doctors and nurses in the design process, by creating quieter, more private spaces, and by leading the region in heart, stroke, and trauma care. This is not your typical emergency room. It's Parkview. In an emergency, isn't this where you'd rather be?
Parkview, your partner in health.
.7:28 left here in the third quarter at Bishop Luers. We were just talking at the break that number 12 is actually a senior, Zach Robbins. So definitely getting some PT time, which I'm sure he appreciates. And number 3, Childers, goes into motion. And now the handoff, no, fake handoff, going deep over the middle. And Gaston, his second touchdown of the night. Just like that, wow. That was a beautiful fake. Norwell bit, and Gaston was wide open right in the middle and picks up his third touchdown. 1 rushing and 2 through the air.
His 5th receiving touchdown of the year to go along with 4 rushing touchdowns now for Mr. Gaston.
Boy, he's talk about a player of the week. And the snap goes high, I believe.
Yeah, there's a high snap. The holder tried to catch it and bring it back down, but by that time Norwell was in on him, so he picked it up and tried to make something happen. And they tackled him and ended the PAT attempt.
Interesting. That's 3 missed PATs tonight. 2 through kicking and 1 through a bad snap. So that's something that if Luers is playing next week, they're going to want to correct. So with that, it's 32-3, 7:21 left here in the third quarter. Luers is singing their fight song, and just a dominating performance by the Luers Knights. I know earlier in the week the Pig said that Luers would win by 31, and right now, if they didn't score any more, it would be pretty close to what the Pig prophesied, I guess.
Well, you know, this is a typical Luers kind of year where they go through the tough SAC schedule.
Yep.
They were 5-4 through the regular season, lost some tough games to some real good teams, all of which are probably, you know, many of them are still playing in their class football sectional. And then when they get into the sectional, they play teams more of their own size. They're able to really be successful and exert their skill.
And the ball's taken back at the 10, comes out to about the 30. Big hit there at the end of the play on the kickoff returner, number 11. That's Eli Riley. Tackle was by Kamari Harris. I just have so much respect for that freshman out there kicking and doing the run backs. I mean, that just takes some guts to do what he's doing.
He's going to be a tired, bruised up puppy tomorrow morning.
And to think he's only 5'10", 132 pounds. So claps his hands, has 2 receivers left and right looking. He's going to have to pass it. It's going to be batted down, I believe. Probably the nearest person was Kamari Harris, who could have picked that off and run it back. So Coach Gerber is going to have to find something to free up these receivers, and if you can't run, that makes it even tougher.
Yeah, and when you're up 32-3, the defensive line can just pin their ears back and just charge hard because running the ball is probably not going to get Norwell back into the game. So they're just pinning their ears back in.
Oh wow. Did he get whacked? But Eli Riley just gets right back up. He picks up maybe 2 or 3 on that play. Talking about pinning their ears back. Oh my goodness. So 3rd down and 7 with 6:45 left in the 3rd quarter. And Norwell comes to the line. 3 receivers here to the near side, 1 to the far side. Single running back. And Norwell is going to be penalized for jumping off sides. Or illegal motion or something.
False start.
False start. Yeah, that's correct.
Yeah. People like to call that illegal procedure, but that terminology doesn't actually exist anymore.
Maybe it was started when you started to ref several years ago. So
too many years ago.
Yeah. So now it's 3rd and 13, 32-3, and Riley. Oh wow! I thought he was going to get taken down by big number 72.
He was a split second away from getting taken down by big 72.
Sulif. Sulif is only 6'5", 279 pounds. That's about, if my math is correct, that's about 130 pounds more than Eli Riley. Wow. So now they're going to punt it away. And we've watched Gaston. He's back. He also brings back Contrails Jordan. Ball is kicked away. And wow, what a great play on the defender right there on the right-hand side. That's number 8, I believe. That's Diego Mayorga. He really got downfield in a hurry to cover that ball, and therefore there was no run back. And the ball is going to be, I think, put at the 36-yard line with 6:13 left here in the 3rd quarter. Kanapke is on the sidelines getting instructions, runs out onto the field. You can see that the Norwell cheerleaders are here. Across the way, they're continuing to cheer, so you got to give credit to those cheerleaders that are trying to keep their faithful into this game. Kanapke's going to pitch it back to Presley this time. He has that ball tucked in. Nice takedown by the Norwell defender. If I see his number, yeah, it's number 3, I believe. That's Christian Bojada. Just heard that New Haven has 6 and Dwenger has 6. Can't have any complaints in that game of field condition because they're playing at the University of St. Francis on that synthetic field.
Yeah, but that can get awful wet and slippery too. Of course, we haven't had rain since probably early in the 1st quarter.
That's just a dogfight.
Yeah, 2 real good teams.
Oh, yeah. So Kanapke is going to come underneath center. He has 2 backs in the backfield. He's going to hand it off to Presley. Just go right up the left-hand side. Perhaps we'll pick up maybe a yard. It's going to be 3rd down and 5, maybe 2 yards, so it'll be 3rd down and 5. Luers is so fortunate. I mean, not only do they have Presley, but they have Hambright and Gaston. I mean, all 3 can run the ball.
It's really kind of like that 3-headed monster that people talk about sometimes. And even Gaston doing double duty, 2 touchdowns receiving and 1 rushing. So he's a dual threat, and then you've got the 2 running backs that seem to be almost interchangeable. They both had over 700 yards for the season.
I think Luers, I mean, they potentially could go a long way. Now Kanapke rolls out, and he overthrows number 34, Alan Jackson, the junior 5'7", 151 pounds, and so that's going to be 4th down, and it's going to bring in the punter Peyton Howell for Luers. Back.
Really didn't have anywhere to go on that play.
Nope.
Norwell had the receivers covered well. He just kind of threw it away. If his player didn't make that play, no one's going to.
Back for Norwell is number 12, Garrison Breggy. High kick, and it's going to take a Norwell, or excuse me, a Dwenger. wrong team. That was last week. Take a Bishop Luers bounce, and I think that's going to be around the 25. So Norwell will have 4:26 left here in the 3rd quarter to try to generate some offense.
Let's see if they try to go to the air and throw the ball a little bit more and try to get some quick scores to get back in this game. It's what they tried last time. Weren't successful, but that's probably their best choice now.
They're going to just take that run right up the middle, and a lot of the linebackers just stayed home for Luers. So I believe the running back, Carson Ringer, is going to get taken down with maybe 2 yards. That might be a generous spot on the play. So 2nd down and 8. Again, you can see it from up here, just the size difference. I mean, number 72, that Daniel Suloff, 6'5", 279. That's huge. Looked like maybe offsides by Luers. That pass intended for number 12, Breggy, just dropped it. And so that's going to be 3rd down and 8. Time is 3:31. I don't quite understand why the clock is still running. It's 3:27 actually. Coach, why would the clock still be running?
It was an incomplete pass. The clock should have stopped on that.
Doesn't matter if it's behind the line or not, because then that would have been a fumble. So,
wow.
Maybe the timekeeper here at Luers had some sympathy pains or something for the other team.
I don't have an answer on that one.
So
Norwell tried to run the ball up the middle there again on 3rd and long and got maybe 2 yards. 4th and long now.
So here we have the punter, Eli Riley. Oh, and it goes over his head, and he's just going to kick it into the end zone. A little bit out of frustration. That's going to give us safety. And, wow, that's just tough. But, what else do you do?
Well, at least now they can kick the ball back to Luers and force them to go, a long way to get a touchdown. And I think he was afraid of he was going to get tackled down there deep and turn the ball over inside their 10-yard line, and then Luers would have had a real short field. So I think he was thinking that might be the smart play. They do give up 2 points, but at least in the short run, maybe that's better than giving up a touchdown on the very next play, or even on that play if he had fumbled it.
So here we are at Bishop Luers High School. Fans are braving the elements, sitting on these metal bleachers. Many of them have either chairs or blankets underneath of them because it's really cold. You got to be careful as you're going down the stairs here at the stadium. Just everything is slick, and yet we're going to be playing outside again next week, someplace. And as these teams are wanting to make it down to Lucas Oil Stadium for the state championship that always takes place around the Thanksgiving weekend. So the ball is going to be placed at the 30-yard line where Norwell will kick it off. Excuse me, I take that back. It's at the 20-yard line. And
now on a safety, when the team that gets the safety scored against them, they can do a place kick. They can punt the ball. They can kick the ball any way they want. A lot of times you'll see punts, so you get that high kick and the covering team has a chance to cover it.
We got Hambrick. Looks like we have Gaston, and looks like Presley. So a very short kick, and it's going to be taken by number 21 for Luers. That's Kamari Harris.
I don't know if that was an intentional short kick. They were trying to pooch that kick over the first line and maybe, recover it. I'm not sure what was, or whether that was just a mistake. But it gives Luers great field position at Norwell's 30-yard line.
Coach, can you kick an onside kick after a safety?
Sure.
For those that were here at the beginning of the game, it was Norwell that was successful on the first kick of the game. They had an onside kick. Kind of took Luers by surprise, and now Gaston goes in motion again with Hambright in the backfield. He's handed the ball, backs down the field, and he's going to pick up a good 6-7 yards on that play. Seems like Bishop Luers is always going downfield in their run and picking up big chunks.
And their running backs are, in football, we talk about finishing the run, and their running backs are finishing the run. They're falling forward. They're delivering the contact to the tackler and almost always getting that extra yard as they're being tackled instead of being driven back.
That's just good coaching.
It's good coaching, and a lot of that is, natural talent and natural size, and they're just pounding the ball right now.
Hambright has handed the ball again, and he's going to pick up, looks like 3, bringing up 3rd and a long 2. Looks like the ball is at the 32-yard line. It's so 3rd down and 2. We'll see how much time has gone off the clock. It's 1:18 now. There's about 10 seconds on the play clock, so Luers is taking their time to get up to the line. Now 5. That's, again, great play. It's down to 1 second before they get the handoff to Presley. He's going to slip a little bit, but he's going to be taken down also by number 8, Diego Mayorga. And so he's going to pick up maybe 2 or 3 on the play. We've got 51 seconds. Because he picked up the first down, the clock did stop momentarily. So we have I formation behind Kanapke, one receiver to the left. Hand off this time to Presley again, and he's, just one tackler kept him from picking up 6. It would have been his first touchdown of the night, but he is going to, I think, just be shy of a first down, 2nd down and 1. Just smash mouth football. Luers is. I take that back. Presley already has 1 touchdown on the night, and we've now gone to the 4th quarter with Bishop Luers 34 and the Norwell Knights 6. We're going to take a break. We'll be right back here on SummitCitySports.com.
Friday Night Lights. Fort Wayne football from the comfort of your own home, or when you're on the go. The same night the pigskin touches the end zone or is stopped dead in its tracks. 10 teams, 5 games, 1 website. SummitCitySports.com. Live streamed high school games, score updates, and news hub for all Fort Wayne athletics. Find us on Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, and SummitCitySports.com.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Luers. They just announced that the Houston Astros were up 2-0 over the Los Angeles Dodgers in the World Series in tonight's game, and someone in the press box asked, which school is Houston? So at the laughter of the press box. So Snyder, wow, what a commanding performance, 37-0.
That's a statement kind of win. That's Snyder telling the rest of the state, look out, we're the team to beat.
Wow, to think to hold Jair Wright to no points, that's amazing. That defense, we've heard all kinds. Looks like Concordia did the same thing to Lakeland, 32-0. So I think they want to get back to the state finals.
Oh, they do, and they're a good team, a little bit different kind of team this year than they were last year, but still very talented.
And I think they have a freshman quarterback leading them as well. Presley, he just breaks through the hole, goes to the right side, touchdown. So with that, it's going to be 40-3. That run came at 11:54. 11:54 of the fourth, and so it's 40 with the extra point coming. We'll see if Luers can be successful on this kick. They've already had 3 that have been missed tonight, and another. Not exactly sure what's happening. I don't know that Peyton Howe has missed this many extra points the entire season, but again, that one only got about got off the ground maybe a foot or so, and so it's 40-3. So we have 2 touchdowns by Presley. We have 3 touchdowns by Gaston and 1 touchdown by Hambright. So those are the 3 guys we said at the very beginning.
3-headed monster.
And they have proven that to be true. So if anybody's going to challenge Luers, they're going to have to figure out a way to slow those guys down. And it seems like Luers does this every year. You were mentioning this earlier. They've done this for years where they've taken their licks and kept on running in the SAC, and but then it just really prepares them. I think it was a couple years ago, Luers was, I think they lost every game or close to it.
And that year they didn't go far in the sectional, but I remember recently them being under 500 during the regular season and going down and winning the state championship. So it just speaks to the strength of the SAC and how talented Luers is even once they get to their own class, to the 3A.
Well, again, you think of Presley. He played at Homestead. Do you think they could have used with Jair Wright? Do you think that Homestead could have used Presley this year?
Well, they could have used him tonight. That's for sure. But I know in the first game of not the first game of the year, but when Luers and Homestead played earlier in the year, that Homestead shut Presley down pretty good. So,
well, that ball. I think Hal took out his frustrations on that and got it as a touchback. And so the ball is placed at the 20. And Norwell will take over 1st and 10. 3 receivers to the near side. Quick pass out to the screen out to the side. Complete to Christian Bohada. He's a senior. I think he might get 1 if that. Nope, the ball goes right back at the 20. So
he's their leading receiver on the year for 27 catches for 300 yards. So he's their playmaker out wide. If they're not going to be able to run the ball and get back in this game, they're going to have to get Bohada the ball downfield some.
Brice Kelly's in the backfield this time, and Luers is going to be called for. I think they jumped over the line, so that would be offsides. Or
false start, Norwell.
Oh, it was false start.
It was drawn offsides. I was wondering because the kid for Luers that jumped offside and was looking around like, hey, they moved. And he was right, they did.
So now 21, that's Kelly, or Brice Kelly. That's a pretty sizable kid. He's 5'10", 205 pounds. And he picks up 3 maybe on the play, so it'll be 3rd down and 7. And the clock continues to run. 10:50 left here in the 4th quarter. in sectional action. So now they flip, and they have the 3 receivers on the far side. And the Riley's just going to hold it, and he's going to take off. Wow. Nice tackle by number 12, Zach Robbins. He was the last guy, and there's no penalties on that. That's probably the biggest play of the night.
That's the biggest play of the night for Norwell, definitely.
So the ball's going to be placed at the 40-yard line. Zach Robbins hadn't gobbled up Riley. He would have been down for the score. And he's responsible for the score in the first half because he's the one that kicked the field goal. So with that, they're going to pick up maybe 5. And so it'll be 2nd down and 5. Clock has 9:55 left. No, I mean the 2 receivers left and right, single back in the backfield. And this time, Carson Ringer just goes on that left-hand side, picks up a nice chunk of acreage for the Norwell Knights.
Again, 1 tackle away from breaking it for a touchdown. I think he was 10, 15 yards downfield before he got touched, and it was the last guy that made that play.
Carson Ringer is a senior, so he knows this could be his last football game, so I'm sure he would love to add a touchdown to his totals. Again, I think this is either Ringer or number 21, Brice Kelly. They've been alternating back and forth.
That was Kelly, I believe.
Picks up big yardage there, 2nd and 6 perhaps, or he picks up 6, so it's 2nd down and 4.
Luers is shuffling a lot of players in and out on defense. I wonder if they were trying to play some of their second stringers. It looks like maybe now they put their first back in, although there's another big run. Another 5 or 6 yards on that carry.
That was Ringer. Goes over the left-hand side, so they keep marching the chains down the field. Ball's at the 30-yard line.
Norwell starting to get some momentum going, see if they can punch it in and try to get back in this game a little bit.
They are definitely taking better care of the ball in this second half. That first half, I think there was at least 4 turnovers and 4 for Norwell, and it's going to be tough to win any game. Nice second effort by Kelly. Gets hit big time the first time through the line, but he spins and maybe picks up another yard, but it's going to be 2nd down and 7. So the ball is placed about the 28-yard line. Those white jerseys are going to need some Tide to get those cleaned again. So Riley is looking out over the middle. Oh, he just overthrows the intended receiver, number 3, Bohada.
What a great throw, though. It had a lot of air under it. Gave his receiver a chance to run under it and make the play just out of his reach.
And the other thing about that is that if his receiver wasn't going to catch it, nobody was going to catch it.
No, that is true.
So big 3rd down and 8 with 2 receivers here on the near side. Oh, looks like maybe it was a play that the running back wasn't where he thought he should be.
Well, someone went the wrong way, quarterback or running back. You never know exactly, but yeah, someone went the wrong way because when Riley turned around to hand it off, his back wasn't there. He turned to the right and the back went to the left, so somebody was on the wrong page.
And yet Riley was able to pick up maybe 2 or 3, and so it's going to be 4th down. I think they're going to go for this. They really have to.
Nothing to lose at this point. Trying to build some momentum for next year, have a positive drive, a positive play in the game.
And he gets taken down hard, but he completes it to number 10. And that's Joe Taylor. I was just thinking, you know, Joe Taylor's uniform, a junior, he's a backup quarterback. He was one that his jersey was pretty white, but after that hit, I think there's going to be some dirt on that.
Yeah, he played quarterback some in the beginning of the year, so much so that was only his second catch as a receiver for the year.
Wow. So
it was a nice play, though.
Yeah, big first down for Norwell as they keep this. So this time it's going to be number 21, Brice Kelly. Left-hand side, nice pickup. Looks like 5 yards, so the ball's going to be down about the 9-yard line. Norwell can once again, they can get a first down without getting a touchdown. A lot of substitutions coming off the field for the Norwell Knights. Or excuse me, for the Bishop Luers Knights. And now Riley's going to pitch it out. Ringer, he was going to be gobbled up, but then somehow was able to get back to the line of scrimmage and more. So
Norwell ran a little option play there. I don't think we've seen that tonight. Riley attacked that defensive end, made him commit, and then pitched it back. There's a defender waiting for a Ringer, but he made a nice play and got a first down. Oh no, it's just short, short.
So third down and 4:44. Handoff right up the middle. Is it a touchdown? No, just shy. About the 1-yard line. That was number 21, Brice Kelly, the senior. So you wonder, you know, as a coach, are you going to pick Ringer or Kelly to try to run it in? I'm sure you've had that choice before, and any method to the madness?
You know, in a game like this, you're just trying to get everyone an opportunity to do something that they can remember and they can have a big moment. And you've got two seniors, both of them, in the backfield, trying to hopefully get something for both of them at some point.
And it's a touchdown, the Norwell Knights. So Brice Kelly was the one who was given the ball by his coach, and so with 4:05 left here in the game, he gets one more touchdown to put into his quiver and to remember. He moves on after this game. So
Kelly was their second leading rusher this year, but according to the stats I had, that's only his first rushing touchdown of the year.
Wow. And the kick is, good. Just goes over the crossbar. And with that, it's now 40-10. And that was that was exciting, I'm sure, for the running back for Norwell, scoring his first touchdown of the year, Brice Kelly. So with that, Norwell gets within 30, and that obviously seems insurmountable, but I'm sure it's a highlight to get more points, to, in other words, to start thinking about next year already and build
something
some
they
momentum.
can point to. It's it's a play they can bring up at the beginning of next summer when they get into their two-a-day practice in their summer, or even before that in their summer conditioning, and say, hey, look, this is what we did at the end of the game. This is what we were able to do to one of the better teams in the state in 3A, and let's use that as a building block for what we're going to try to accomplish this year.
This game is brought to you by SummitCitySports.com. You can follow us on Twitter at 260 Sports. You can follow us on Facebook at Summit City Sports, or you can subscribe to our YouTube channel. You can watch a lot of the action that's taking place tonight around the SAC and see some excellent contests. I know one of those contests was, or it will be, New Haven and Dwenger. Nice low kick. It's going to be picked up by a new runner. Oh, it's going to be a fumble, and I think Norwell's going to get that.
Norwell covered it. Let's see who is that on the ball. Number 24 for Norwell came up with that recovery. Number 24 is
that's Corbin Sponseller.
Coburn.
Yeah, Sponseller,
a senior wide receiver, linebacker.
I believe that was number 87, Johnny Sewell, who was a freshman, getting an opportunity to bring that back for the Knights, and it just got stripped out. And so now the ball is at the 35-yard line, and here's Norwell again. So will they, 4 minutes to go. You got 3 receivers to the far side, 1 to the near side. Quick screen. Oh boy, good thing he completed that where he did, or it could have been intercepted.
Yeah, he threw that ball a little bit behind the receiver, and if he had thrown it out in front, which is normally what you try to do on those quick screens, that ball would have been picked off and would have been 6 points going the other way.
But it's second down and 5 instead.
Yeah, it worked out nicely for him. I don't know if he meant to throw it behind him or that just worked out, but that was fortuitous for him for sure.
So now we have 3 receivers on this side just flip-flopping. And quick handoff to number 21, and he's going to pick up another first down.
It's Brice Kelly again. He's racking up a lot of yards in this second half. I wonder if they've made a conscious decision that Kelly's doing a better job because they haven't gone to Ringer nearly as much, or maybe if Ringer's a little banged up. I don't know what the...
They haven't been alternating like they have in the past.
No.
So now it's a pitch this time to Ringer, and he's going to get taken down about the 20-yard line. Second down, 2:46. So it's about 6 or 7 yards. And we have second down and 6. Looks like we've got Brice Kelly in the backfield this time. Another quick handoff now off the left-hand side, keeps those legs moving forward, gets a first down and more. I think he's going to be taken down about the 8-yard line, and once again, Norwell's knocking on the door with 2:07 left to play. Three receivers here to the near side, 1 to the far side. Ringer's back in, he takes it, and it's his turn to get a touchdown. So Ringer scores a touchdown, so it's going to be 40-16 with the pending extra point.
And that's Ringer's 8th touchdown of the year on the ground. So each of the seniors now has a touchdown in tonight's game. It's a nice way to go out. The next best thing, if you're not winning, is to get to score. I'm sure they'd much rather win the game. But
so now Riley's going to go for the extra point, and I think that's good. It is. So it's going to be 40-17. Fourth quarter, 1:49 left here in the game.
Tell you what, you got to give it to Norwell. Those kids have not given up, and they're still playing hard, and they're not ready for their season to be over yet. And really put together 2 nice drives, feeding the ball to Kelly a lot, and then Ringer getting the touchdown there on that last drive. Two really, really hard runners have really been working hard tonight, and it's starting to pay off here in the fourth quarter. And it's nice to see for the Norwell Knights.
Again, you're watching SummitCitySports.com. You can follow us on Twitter at 260 Sports. You can like us at Facebook. And you can also subscribe to our YouTube channel. We want to thank Parkview Sports Medicine for your partnership this season in promoting and providing all of these games in the SAC for our viewers. I don't know too many other organizations in this state that are providing what Summit City Sports is for this area. And what a treat for these kids to be able to tune in every week to look and to see themselves play, or their grandparents, or some that are.
Yeah, I was going to say, I thought we had an offsides there on the kicking team.
I noticed that Norwell has sent in a lot of new uniforms.
A lot of clean jerseys.
Yeah.
A lot of clean white jerseys now.
So they're going to kick it again, backed up 5 yards. I was just talking about SummitCitySports.com, and if you would like to sponsor the season of basketball or football, or you'd like to sponsor the entire year. Make sure you see Jeff Mahoney at our website, and he'll be happy to help you, help your company, get your name out in a positive way to support these kids on a week-in and week-out basis. So the ball is returned by the Luers Knights to, it appears to be about the 35-yard line. And it's 1:38 left here in the game at Luers. This game is about wrapped up. And we have a new quarterback. That's Christian Fly. He's a sophomore, 5'7", 126 pounds.
I think we're going to have new running backs as well. Looks like the offensive line is new. I'd be very surprised if Luers does anything but hand the ball off here for 3 or 4 plays.
I think that's Andrew Moore. Oh, wow, what happened there? And Norwell's going to tackle the ball carrier. I believe that was number 22, Braden Coward. And so that ball is going to go back maybe 4 or 5 yards, and it's going to be 2nd and 15. Time continues to click down. 1:14 left here in the game. It's been a thrill to be here tonight and this season. We thank you for tuning in. 3 receivers here to the near side, 1 to the far side. Just a quick handoff. Runner comes here, and ooh, nice tackle by Norwell. Number 33 got a good pop. That's Cameron Harris. So they get back to about the line of scrimmage. There's about 30 seconds left. So I'm guessing unless they go out of bounds, this will be the last play of the game.
Yeah, they're going to have to run one more play, and then that'll be it.
Well, Coach, I thank you again for coming out tonight and providing excellent color commentary as well.
Well, I don't know how excellent it was, but I appreciate the compliment.
Appreciate your help with the stats as well, and just the knowledge that you have of the game. Wow. A memory was almost made by number 22, but that's going to end the game here. And Luers is going to advance to the finals of the sectional. And we'll see who they'll play next week. But they are going to beat the Norwell Knights 40-17. Once again, we thank you for joining us here on SummitCitySports.com. Follow us on Twitter at 260sports. Like us on Facebook, or subscribe to our YouTube channel. And make sure you thank Tommy Scheckler and Curtis Smith and Parkview Sports Medicine for their coverage here on tape delay of the win tonight for the Bishop Luers Knights. On behalf of Coach C.J. Graff, I'm Michael Mortensen. We want to thank our St. Francis football player, who's also our videographer upstairs, for providing tonight's coverage. We'll see you again next week. Until then, have a safe week, and we'll look forward to seeing you back here on SummitCitySports.com.